Hi everybody, welcome to Nazal Sex. How are you guys doing? I'm doing okay. Life has been good. And yeah, today I have come with my thoughts again. And I'm someone who lives life to the maximum, to the very maximum. I try to enjoy life in every way that I can, every little way that I can. But I also think about death a lot, because death is, it is a reality. It's something that we will all go through. And I also spend a lot of time thinking about how I want things to be carried out when I'm no longer here. And of course, one of those things is, there's the thing about writing a will. That's one bit of it. That's not what I'm talking about today. Today, I'm talking about how I want to be, how I want my body to be dealt with when I pass away. So by that, I mean, do I want to be buried or do I want to be cremated? And I want to be cremated. I have made this known to anyone who will listen. And I know that many people find it extremely troubling when I say that. And I have heard so many different responses. People say it's morbid. We have the people that say, the Christians that say no. We're supposed to be buried, ash to ash and dust to dust and all that stuff. Not ash to ash, dust to dust and all that stuff. I've had people who have said to me, oh, it's not African, it's not what we do. That one even makes me laugh because I'm like, what exactly is African? What is it? What does that mean? What does it mean when you say it's not African? It's not what we do. Like, if we want to dissect things, how many of us do things that are African all the time? How many of us? So, for example, if you wear a wig or a weave, or you have false eyelashes, you have false nails, is that being African? What exactly is that? Oh my God, the kind of comments, I'm just thinking about what people have said to me. It's just too funny. And also the Christians, who say, oh, dust to dust, blah, blah, blah. What makes you think that, that's just assuming everybody is Christian, number one, and that everybody that's even Christian shares your views. Yeah, so that's a whole different story. So my thing is, I want to know if people actually think about things like that. Do you think about how you want to be, disposed of? Let me not even sugarcoat it. How you want to be disposed of when you pass away? Do you want to be buried, as in a coffin, put 6 feet above, how many feet? Or do you want to be cremated? I'd be keen to know what people think. And when people say it's not African, what does that mean? Because, first of all, many of us who are listening are out here in the diaspora, right? So, but we still want to hold on to, our traditions, and I respect that. But I just feel like some of those traditions were put in place by our forefathers who lived at home, who lived in the village, right? But we now live out here. So do those traditions really still apply? Right? Okay, again, if we follow if the cycle of life is kind to us and goes the way that it should go, our parents would have gone by the time we pass. So for those of us who live here, most of our children are out here, right? So if we're pushing to be buried back home, who is that for? Who is that for? Because our children are out here. How many of them are going to become visiting us and like visiting our grave sites back home in the village in Nigeria? Right? I just feel like some things like we just need to apply some. I don't want to say common sense because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm saying they don't have common sense. But we just need to be real. We just really need to be real. Some of the things that we push for, do we actually think them through? So if you're saying, oh, I want to be buried in the village, in my village. Some people have not even gone, don't even visit, go home. Some people don't even go home, go to the village, to go home. And then they'll be saying, when I die, I want you to bury me at home in the village. Some people don't even know the way to their villages. Oh my God. It's just ridiculous sometimes when I think about how people reason. Then what about the cost implication? I remember I was doing a podcast session the other day, and my guest, she's so funny. She said to me that her husband told her that he wants to be cremated, and I said to her, yes. And then she said that she told him that he's just doing it to save costs, to save money. I said, okay, yeah. But when I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, yeah, and that's not a bad, if you're doing it to save your loved ones, spending thousands and thousands of money to carry you back home, that shows how considerate you are of the people that you're going to leave behind. So, so even if that's the reason, that's a valid reason, I think, in my opinion, to say you want to be cremated. Yeah. And then I had I had some guests on another podcast session, and I was telling them the same thing about wanting to be cremated. And one of them said, and he raised a valid point, okay, what about people that died in the war? Many of them, their bodies were not brought back. And he was telling me about an Igbo tradition where as long as you, if you can cut the person's nails or cut the person's hair and wrap it and take it back home, then that's buried, and, the traditional rites are done as if you brought back the body. That was really interesting. That was really, really interesting. You get to learn this, doing this podcast. I'm telling you, I enjoy just talking to people and learning from them. I didn't even know that. But that's a good option. That's a good option. Yeah, I think so. So for me, I never try to, I feel like how you want to be disposed of when you pass is a personal decision, right? So this cremation thing, I never try to sway anybody. That's not my job. That's not my job. I'm focusing on myself. I don't try to sway anybody towards being cremated, just like I would appreciate if people don't try to sway me towards being buried with, the whole Christian and being African, being Nigerian, all that stuff. I'm not. It's a personal thing, because I could also, if you just have to respect people's wishes, and I always say, like, whatever it is that you want to do, make sure that you have it down in writing so that your loved ones know when you pass what to do. Because that causes plenty, loads of problems. When people don't know what you want, you pass them. Some people are fighting for you to be buried back home. Some people are fighting for you to be buried here. And it's just a whole mess. So I think as people, instead of saying, this is not my portion, death is not my portion either. Nobody's trying to die tomorrow. If we have any say in when we pass, nobody wants to die tomorrow. But death is promised and we don't know when it could be. So we need to have these conversations, and not just have the conversations. Let our loved ones know what exactly it is that, we want. I've been to, the more cremation ceremonies I attend, the more convinced I am that is for me. But again, my musings are about my own thoughts. So I also respect people who want to be buried in a coffin, buried back home. That is your choice. I respect that. I respect that. But I just feel like, we need to think about when we start quoting things about, oh, that's not Nigerian. It's not something we do. You hear people say, oh, alo. So for people who don't understand Igbo, it means like, oh, that's a taboo. Sometimes I've said, oh, I want to be cremated. The people have said, oh, alo. Okay. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? If I'm cremated, does that mean that, what exactly does that mean? If I'm going to heaven, if there is a heaven, does that mean I won't go to heaven because I was cremated? Like, people just need to stop with some of these thought processes that they try to force people to accept. It's a personal choice, but it's something that I would like, and I'm sure a lot of people think about this. Maybe they don't voice it, or maybe some people voice it, but this is one topic that I would like more people to be comfortable having, because every time I've tried to broach it with people, even people much older than I am, they don't want to talk about it. They say, no, I don't want to talk about it. But like, why not? Death is promised all of us, and it's easier for our loved ones if they know what we want, and then they can even prepare. And we also can prepare for when we pass. So yeah, this is not going to be a long one. It's just, I was just thinking about it. I had actually even done a musings on this before, but things have, I've spoken to more people since then, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to scrap that one. I'm going to do this one. Oh my gosh, my people are just very interesting. My people are very interesting. Everybody wants to enjoy life, but nobody wants to think about death when we're promised death. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Have you thought about how you want to be disposed of? And if so, what are your thoughts? What do you think about cremation? Is this something that you is that your choice, or is this something you are repulsed by, or is this something that you feel is a taboo? Is it un-African? And what does being un-African even mean? If we want to even use that, whatever. Then for the hardcore Christians, what is your take on cremation? What is your take on cremation? I know what people have said to me, which is, oh, your body needs to go back to the ground. I don't know. There's some, I can't remember the exact things I've been told, but at the time I was told, I tried to understand what they were saying. But yes, I think you have to commit. I think that's the phrase: commit the body back. So if the body is not committed back, what does that mean? Does that mean that our Savior will not accept the body? I don't understand. And people say, oh, cremation, they'll burn your body. You're no longer there. You're gone, you're dead, you're no longer there. So what does it matter if you're cremated? Then some people say, oh, no, you want to bury the coffin so that you know where the person is buried. Why? Why? Most people bury their relatives back home. They don't even go there to even tend to the place and plant flowers and make it look nice. So, but you just want to say that you've buried the person. Some people say, oh, they want somewhere that they can go and talk to the person. Why do you have to go to a particular spot to talk to the person? You should be able to talk to the person from, wherever. You don't have to go to where you buried them to talk to them. So, I don't know. That point doesn't really, really work. And also, if you want to remember somebody, you can plant a tree or something in their favor, in their memory. There are things that you can do. I don't know that the argument for there to be a spot where the person was buried, I'm not trying to give you somewhere you can come and stand and talk over me or talk at me. I don't know about that. So yeah, again, everybody has their choices, how they want, what they want. But people need to respect people's choices. If someone says they want to be cremated, that's what they want to. They want. You want to be buried, that's fine. That's what you want. If you want to be buried here, that's fine. That's what you want. If you want to be buried back home, that's fine. As long as you let your family members know what your decision is, so that when you pass, they know what they're doing. But yeah, guys, I'm just keen. I'm just interested to, as you know, my musings have no beginning, they have no end. I just talk as I'm thinking, as the thoughts just come to my head. So I'm just keen to know what people think about cremation. I know many of you will probably send me WhatsApp messages. You will go and comment on there. You come and be sending me WhatsApp messages. Okay, send me WhatsApp messages. If you don't want to comment, let me know what your thoughts are. And if you've made your choices, yeah. And the reasons for your choice, for whatever choice it is that you've made. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think we should just normalize talking about these sorts of things. I don't know what the big, issue is. And as I said, no one's trying to die if we can help it. But we can't help it. It's not down to us. So, yeah, I talk about life. I talk about death and everything in between. Okay, guys, it's a cold evening here. And I am going to round up now and go and enjoy the rest of my evening. So, guys, let me know your thoughts. Comment, share. I will be looking out. Okay? Until next time, I'm sending you guys love, peace, good health. We want to be here for as long as we can. Happiness. And, yeah, stay safe. Okay, guys. Bye.